Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Om Yanti Mendasya. Dhanarindasya. Chaitanya Manodristam
Sapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamaya Dadati Swapadantikam.
Jai Shri Krishna
Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaurabhakta.
Hare
Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
In a few days, I'm going to have most auspicious celebration of Veterans Day. Shri Krishna appeared on his own choice. He doesn't take birth. He was like we take birth. We take birth influenced by our karma. But Lord appears on his own choice. Why? Vishnu Dharma. Paitaya sadhanam vinashya tuskata. Dharma sansapadanataya yogi. Appear to establish Dharma. So Krishna appears to establish Dharma. And when the Lord appears on the planet, he performs superhuman activity. For example, the Lord appeared in front of his father and mother. He appeared in a beautiful form. He received beforehand. And when he was requested by his parents to transform himself to an ordinary child, he did that. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Dharma karma chame. My appearance and disappearance are both transcendent. What does Divya mean? Divya means that which is beyond the material mode. Divya means which cannot be equaled by anyone. And Lord's pastime is written in the Krishna book, also supreme. So Krishna appears. When he appears along with his associates. Vasudeva and Devaki. Or why did Krishna appear? And the son of Vasudeva and Devaki. They had performed very extensive austerities for 12,000 celestial years. This is the only thing. Celestial years are very long. 6 months of an earthly planet. 12 months of a celestial planet. So for 12,000 such years, Vasudeva did not eat anything, did not drink anything. All they ate was, who knows what they ate?
Dried leaves.
All they ate was dry leaves that fell out trees. That's all. If we were to tell you, okay, from tomorrow, you'll only get dry leaves. Or you will probably leave. So, and the constant meditation was, you want to point that out. So while Devaki had a very envious brother, Kamsa. After Devaki's marriage, Kamsa was taking his sister and brother home. It's very normal in a marriage. Because brother takes his sister and her husband to their home. And an anonymous voice said, "You fool, you don't know the child of this, your sister, is going to be the cause of your death. One of the children of your sister is going to be the cause of your death." So Krishna appeared, and when he appeared, he first appeared in the original transcendental form, four-handed form, beautifully decorated, ornamented. But then, once they were given a war, worried, Kamsa would find out. So they begged it. Please transform your daughter into ordinary child. He did that. It was wonderful. Vasudeva was in the prison house, as you know. So it is a normal practice among Kshatriya kings. When a child is born, especially a boy, they give a lot of charity. But Vasudeva could not do that because he was in the prison and he didn't want anyone in the prison to get any indication that the Lord had appeared. So Vasudeva said, transform himself in ordinary child. He did that. And Vasudeva, what did he give charity? He gave charity mentally. Mentally he distributed cows, ornamented cows, distributed it to another brahmana. So if you're ever in a position you can't physically serve, you can serve mentally. In the nectar devotion, read about a story. But once a very poor Brahmin in South India who was happy, he wasn't complaining, why am I poor? Very poor Brahmin. Once he was hearing a spiritual discourse. And in the discourse the speaker said, if you are in a position you can't physically give something, you can mentally do it. So Brahman was very happy. He was so poor, he could barely survive. But he had a constant desire to build an opulent temple. So mentally, he built a very opulent temple, very opulent. Mentally, he installed 3 altars. Mentally, he would go every day to the sacred rivers of India, Gopāl, Narmada, Saraswati, and bring water every day. When Abhishek is under the deities, the chanting of mantras, we spiritualize the water. So but he would not chant spiritualize the water. He would personally go and bring the water from each of the sacred rivers and give the Lord a bath. Then he built, mentally, very opulent temple, the river. And we're distributing prasad to everyone. So this went on for many years. And one day, the Lord was sitting with Lakshmiji. And the Brahman, he had prepared sweet rice for the Lord. So sweet rice, as you know, is cooked hot. And when it becomes cold, you offer it to the Lord. So the Brahman wanted to put his finger inside the sweet rice. He wanted to see how cold it has become, whether it's cold to offer. And his finger got burnt. When his finger got burnt, the Lord was with Lakshmi. The Lord started smiling. And Lakshmi said, why are you smiling? The Lord did not answer. The Lord was so pleased with mental seva that he sent an aeroplane to bring him back to God. So if you're ever in a position you can't physically serve, you can serve mentally. This doesn't mean you should stop chanting mentally. I'm chanting mentally. There's no situation where you can't. So Krishna and Balaram perform so many sacrifices, so many pastimes. We come up with every time. Krishna killed the powerful demon Putana. He was only a few days old. Kamsa had information. The child to kill him had already appeared. So he ordered, kill all the babies. And Krishna and Putana came to kill him. He took her life. So this way Krishna performed many human activities. And one day, Maharaja shoulder his mother hand. The Lord has swallowed dirt. So my mother was very angry. Why should my son swallow dirt? We have everything. And Maharaja had 900,000 cows, all beautifully decorated and ornamented. We have so many cows. Why should we?
I'm having trouble hearing you.
Why should he swallow dirt? When Krishna Balaram came home, and the mother said, "Did you swallow dirt?" He said, "No." And then the mother said, "Tell me the truth. Show me the..." And the son said, "If you don't believe me, open my mouth." And when he opened the mouth, what did she see? Holy University. So Krishna performs superhuman activity. When you meet somebody, says, "I'm God," ask him, "Can you perform any of this superhuman activity?" Krishna then gives us the instructions of the Bhagavad Gita, and we read even now. So how can we serve Krishna the best? We can serve Krishna by following his instructions. Krishna did not if Krishna conscious philosophy is not fabricated. It is real. Krishna incarnated as Vyasadeva and gave us what? The Vedic text. And the Vedic text are wonderful from God. So Krishna performed many superhuman activities. Krishna was also called Makanchor. What does Makanchor mean?
Butter sheep.
Somebody calls you a chore. I'm chore. You'll be ready to fight with him. But the devotee relish when Krishna is called Makanchor. Why were they called Makanchor? Krishna was very fond of stealing butter and milk from the gopis' houses. These gopis are the eternal servants of the Lord, the eternal servants. And the gopis, constant meditation is, okay, how can I serve Krishna better? That's the only meditation. So Krishna performed in transcendental activity. He would go and steal the butter and the beauty of Krishna's pastime is that he never got caught. No one could ever catch him. Never neighboring gopis would take complaints to Mother Yashoda. She would say, "What proof do you have?" So the gopis were constantly perplexed. How do you make Mother Yashoda believe that the son is stealing butter? So Krishna's neighboring gopis would go every day at a particular time for a bath in the Yamuna. So one day she came back early and she saw that Krishna knew when she goes, after that time he would come to the house and see the butter and eat it. So the gopi came again beforehand. And he caught Krishna red, stealing butter. So she said, "Okay, your mother was always telling us show proof, have you caught red-handed?" She was physically pulling Krishna by the right hand. What did Krishna do? The gopi's son became Krishna's left-hand partner. And they had few more boys. And Krishna very cunningly withdrew his hand and put the gopi's son's hand. So when they reached the house, he said, "You are always asking for proof? You would not take our words? Here is your son." I caught him stealing butter. Gopi said, Krishna never got caught. And Krishna, as you know, in that famous Damodar pastime, Maharaja was trying to tie her son down. She took all the ropes, added all the ropes, till they were short. But later on, Krishna saw his mother was perspiring, his mother was anxiety, he agreed to get caught. So the point is, if we want to understand the Lord, we need two things. We have to make the effort, and then with the mercy of the Lord you can understand. Just like when Yasoda, when he was trying to tie Krishna down, first with one rope, 2, 3, 4, 5. She got all the ropes together. How many fingers short was it? Two. This is true. According to Acharya, a great significance. One finger represents, unless you make the effort, you can't know Krishna. No, the second finger is indicate, and you will know him, his mercy. You can't say, hey, I'm a rich man, you yourself to me. You have to make the effort. Effort means what? You have to do what Krishna wants you to do. And then when the Lord sees that you are making him sincere and pure, then the Lord reciprocates. So we should get ready for Janmashtami, not just by building a big, like in a big temple in India. Janmashtami is celebrated at a very grand scale. We get about 20,000, more than, lakhs of people coming. And devotees are in every temple, big or small, to the best ability. They decorate the temple, decorate the Lord, etc. That's good. But the real pleasure-giving activity for the Lord is when we accept His teaching. And the Lord says, "Man bhava man bhakta man hari man bhava." Let me bow down to me, or will obey to me. So for Janmashtami, we should read the pastime. In the Krishna book is a summary presentation of 10 candles. Whole 10 candles. Because Prabhupada was not happy Krishna teachings were being distorted. So Prabhupada was very keen that the Krishna book be published. And in the Krishna book, Prabhupada presents the Krishna pastime as it is. So we as devotees, we should be our mentality. Our mentality should be that we should absolve ourselves in Krishna consciousness. We should take Krishna consciousness more seriously. And that means chant around, read a book, and and we should always think, what can I do to serve the mission of the Lord? But Krishna does in the 18th chapter, who is my dearest devotee? When the preacher my glory is my most devotee. So Krishna is the Supreme Lord, Ishvara Parama Krishna. Many controllers, there is only one Supreme Controller. And we accept Krishna teaching as it is. We accept the pastime of the Lord as we read in the Bhagavad. Many people make a profession out of reading Bhagavad Gita. Prabhupada was not in favor of that. He wanted devotees to systematically study the Srimad Bhagavatam. And by the time you reach 18 and by 18,000 verses, we convinced beyond doubt Krishna is who Krishna is. There are 18,000 verses in the Bhagavatam. And Parikshit Maharaj heard it from the lips of Śrīla Goswami. And Śrīla Goswami was speaking for thousands of sages present. And one of them was Sutta Goswami, who didn't recite any Bhagavatam, to whom? To the sages in Namaskar. So real Janmashtami celebration is, and we dedicate ourselves to Lord Krishna's teaching. That is, should be a serious attempt. Then we can please the Lord by doing what He wants us to do. And Krishna passing we see also people. When Krishna started killing all these asuras, all these demons, the Brahmasis were perplexed. They said, who is he? Is he Narayan? He is a small child. He cannot knock down 2 trees. Is he a demigod? Or is he just an empowered person? So in the beginning, when Krishna killed the demons, they were very bewildered. And they were thinking, maybe it's Krishna himself. No. So Krishna performed superhuman activities. They cannot be equal to anyone. We should study, read Krishna book, and be convinced that absorption in Krishna Katha can help us spiritually. Krishna Katha is constructive, but just by destructive. Katha means engaging in talk, not related to Krishna. Krishna Katha means related to talk, have to do with Krishna. So we should make it a point to read a Krishna book regularly. How many of you have read a Krishna book? We should make it a point to read, at least for Janmashtami, at least one chapter a day. If you do that, mind will be absorbed with Krishna. If you're thinking about Krishna, and there will be no room for Maya. That should be our resolution. Thank you, Krishna. I'm going to read some type of questions. Any questions? Yeah.
Gurudev, thank you. Krishna tells us that, unless you know me in truth, tatvataha, but then at the same time, it is not possible to understand Krishna perfectly. So how that works?
Why is it difficult? If you engage in devotional service, then you can understand Krishna. You can understand Bhakti Amamvajanti. You can understand Krishna only to the path of bhakti. What's your question?
So, I have heard that, no one can understand Krishna really.
One can understand Krishna through mundane efforts, but through spiritual efforts, you're doing what Krishna wants you to do. You can purify. In purified senses, you can understand Krishna. Take for example, there's flow of Sanskrit, someone who takes the path of bhakti is convinced he is Krishna. And someone who doesn't take to the path of bhakti, that's just an academic study, he doesn't understand. Like there's so many Sanskrit schools in India. You talk to their students, they don't accept Krishna as Supreme. You could talk to some foreign student of ISKCON, he's convinced that Krishna is the Supreme. Why? But he's taking to the path of pure devotion. So, if you engage in pure bhakti through the medium of chanting and hearing, you understand.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Guru Maharaj, we see so many, like you mentioned that Krishna's quality as a Bhagavan, but we see that so many people keep their name as a Bhagavan and so many followers. When we try to tell them how to convince them, not to be ready for cheated, go to the right direction.
Krishna, there are thousands of devotees. As a we should associate with genuine. So I may call myself Bhagwan, but that means nothing. Once a reporter in Australia asked Prabhupada, "Are you God?" Prabhupada said, "Everyone thinks he's God, it's really not." The point is, people make claims to be incarnation, but they're not incarnation. So those who call them Bhagwan, they're not real Bhagwan. Is that your question?
Yes, Guru.
So there may be many Bhagwans, but we don't have them as Bhagwan. We said as Bhagwan only those that are explained in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Krishna in the Bhagavatam, what is Bhagavatam? Nothing but glorification of Krishna and Krishna's pastime. So we always have that many hardware claims. I'm not sure if this is a question.
Yes, Guru.
Yeah. Yeah. What?
Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. Maharaja, can you please let us know how we can be humble and develop humility?
Humility means that. Okay, just getting back to it. In all the scriptures it is said that if you want to understand the Lord, you should cultivate humility. Pride and arrogance do not please the Lord. But humility pleases the Lord. What does humility mean? Sometimes people think humility means offer dandavats, say namaste, and do this. Humility in spiritual life means I'm ready to be corrected, I'm ready to be guided, I'm ready to be directed. Very often if you tell someone, what is the reaction? I know everything, don't tell me anything. That's the attitude of pride. But humility means I respect everyone. God offering any respect in return. God expecting. And we are ready to be guided. In next level of devotion, it is said, we should take shelter of the Bodhisattva Guru and then inquire, how can I make spiritual advancement? Humility means I'm constantly inquiring, how can I make spiritual advancement? How can I chant better? How can I read better? That is humility. And if we are humble, there will be peace, harmony. But if we are arrogant, rude, proud, then you don't please the Lord. So Lord Chaitanya gave a good example. More humble than her. The grass is so humble, you walk on the grass. The grass returns. Grass is there. Why are you walking on my head? And more taller than a tree. The tree is really taller. In the summer season, the tree has to tolerate the hot sun. In the rainy season, it has to tolerate the hot rain. And then people use the wood for fire and so on. And the tree doesn't protest. So humility means I offer respect to everyone, while I don't offer with the intention that I should also be offered, without expecting anything in return. And if you have humility as a guide, you will help you on spiritually.
Thank you, Maharaj.
More. Yeah.
Guru Maharaj, we always write my Dandavat Pranam to all devotees. He always says we are humble, das anudas. But in practice, we are not really able to follow. And second thing about that, when we when we really think about and always really criticizing for every small things to each other, and sometimes jokingly, sometimes seriously. So how we can cooperatively work together and also develop the real Das Bhav.
Good question. So how to develop humanity? And we criticize them without any reason. You take on the karma. Papa said, you should be like a bee and not the fly. That's the difference. The fly sits on a stool in filth. The bee sits in a clean environment. So we should look at the good in everyone. Everyone has some good quality. And why do we rejoice criticizing others? When we are idle, not using our brains properly. An idle brain is a devil's workshop. If we had knowledge about these Kṛṣṇa Katha and all, you would be interested in talking about that. We haven't developed the higher taste. We sit on the lower taste. And so we should try to look at the good in everyone. Now let's say, for example, you are trying your best, and the other person doesn't reciprocate. Still you've nothing to worry. If you do what is right, regardless of whether the other person is acting correctly or not, then Krishna will take you.
Should we associate with those devotees who are not really nice to us? We just keep some relationship, or just to go on with our own?
If there's some devotees who just specialize in fault finding. So if you want to stay away from them, you can. But the point is, even if the other person is criticizing, you don't retaliate. Don't do tit for tat. Because if you do that, then the tension will escalate. And if you just tolerate it, then over time, the other person will become sensible and stop. Somebody else may make a mistake, you don't retaliate. That is human being. That is human. Avalina Maharaja. He respects everyone. Everyone is protecting.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, so nice to see
How are
you.
you?
Thank you. Honored to be here. I asked you the night before, how to know when to seek guidance from a spiritual master. And today I would really like to ask you how to know who is a right fit for us. I understand the Shastras, we have qualifications to read about, but how do we know who is a good fit for us to help guide us with our natural qualities and propensities to serve Krishna?
But you can pray to Krishna for guidance. He guides you.
Is it something that is only told to us through the super soul, or?
But the super soul is also guiding us based on our desire. And if your desire is genuine, then Krishna will guide you for genuine personality.
What if we feel confused along the way? Like somebody or options that we may be considering feel unattainable?
Well, if you, for example, in ISKCON, everyone's giving the same philosophy. It's not that every spiritual master has his own ideology. All follow and repeat every word of Prabhupada. You can never go wrong. Yeah.
Thank you.
Guru Maharaj, our goal is to achieve pure bhakti, like you mentioned, but it's such a high level, and we're so conditioned and so attached to chewing the chew from life to life. Is it possible for us to achieve pure bhakti in this lifetime?
We said, yes, bhakti in it. Gopal said, if you chant 69 over the forehead and the principle, then you can go back to Godhead. So, it may appear challenging, it may appear too distant. If you follow the process, then little things become easy. Like Krishna, the Kṛṣṇa and Chaitanya Charitamrita say, if you take shelter of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then a blind man can see, a deaf man can hear, a dumb man can speak, and a layman can cross mountains. In other words, you can achieve the impossible by taking shelter of devotional service. Yeah.
What does it mean to take a shelter of devotional service? Shall we give up all our material attachments? Everything?
Well, you have to give up something. You have a disease, let's say, you get hit with, you get diabetes, you have to give up all sweets. I mean, if you want to take shelter of the Lord, so to speak, God is ready to protect you. But He wants you to give up that which is undesirable. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, first principle, accept everything favorable for devotional service and reject everything unfavorable. Just like these days, people are very health conscious. So before you buy something, you read the labeling, what's written in the label. And something is detrimental, you don't, this is COVID. If you know that in some area, COVID is heavily infected, you don't go there. So similarly, we should know we want the Lord mercy to do what He wants us to do. And what do you give up? You give up only those activities that are detrimental. You don't say if you become a devotee, can't eat, can't smile, you can't. You know, but do what's favorable. Yeah.
Gopal, we hear so many times that we are here because of envy. So how to remove this envy from our heart? Because it comes so many times. And
What does envy mean? When do we become envious? When we feel that I don't have what he has. When we feel that I should get the same honor that he has. So, lust, anger, and envy are three habits that take you to hell. So, Lord Chaitanya said, as long as envy is in the heart, Krishna will not receive it. But as long as envy is in the heart, well, you will have a lot of dukkha. So envy comes because you feel that the other person has something which you don't have. You become envious. But we should understand that we're all born with our own quota of happiness and distress. Maharaj says, my dear friend, you won't get one drop or more of happiness in order to your destiny. So Maharaj tells his friend, don't waste time. You only get what is your destiny. So if somebody has some skills which you don't have, if somebody is getting more honor than you're getting, tolerate it. You don't have to necessarily. According to your karma, you're getting your quota. According to the other's karma, you're getting his quota. So being envious is just destroying yourself.
Is there anything, so Maharaj, like spiritual envy?
Yes. Spiritual envy is okay. Spiritual envy means, like that in Vishaka. Vishaka you should see. And Radharani Chandravali. Chandravali you should see. Oh, Radharani sang so well, so brilliantly. So she would try and overtake Radharani. And only the gopis also. In spiritual competition. Gopal himself encouraged competition with regards to book distribution. So that is spiritual envy. when your goal is to do more service. More service for the Lord. The certain way is that I see that he has something which I don't have. I won't tolerate that. And then you can fire when you put it out. Yeah.
Guru Maharaj, I just repeat that question. The humanity, just we are traveling with you, you Guru GBC. So any temple you go, you first to inform the temple president or local authority. With Balaram Approach Day also, you inform to Nilmadha Prabhu, and you take it for temple head pujari to also take permission to take your saligram to altar. So because this
What is your question?
then my question is because the humanity means you need to respect everybody. This is because you are a Guru GBC, you can take your saligram also, take anybody permission also. So you taking for everybody, temple president and head pujari, then after that permission to you taking your saligram to altar. Or any temple you go, first you need to inform I'm coming, everything okay. So
It's normal courtesy. If you're going somewhere, then the company doesn't know, so they can make an arrangement. And if you want to place it in the altar, it's only logical. You first talk to the head pujari. Just because when you see your guru, does not mean he hasn't followed the normal etiquette. The seniors also have to follow the normal etiquette, which we expect juniors to follow. It's not that. I can do anything I want, don't ask me. And it's gone there.
So this thing means all your disciples, all devotees would be same thing. This thing teaching us.
What do you mean? That's the standard everyone should have. You should respect everyone. You want to do something, you go to the authority. I can't say, I'm UBC now, I can do whatever I want. Don't ask me anything. Yeah. I'm going to go chapel,
Prabhu, you already asked. Please give other chance. Yeah. He and Divyanand Prabhu also has. Jagdish Sima, you can. Yeah.
Once time permit, then only.
Okay.
Guru Maharaj,
Yeah.
along the lines of the earlier question about envy, we sometimes hear that envy is the root cause of our, taking birth in this material world. Sometimes we hear that we've turned our back on the Lord. So can you explain?
Envy is so strong that it's really at one time become enemies of the Lord. Why should the Lord be the enjoyer? And the moment you want to be God's competitor, you have to leave the spiritual world and come to the material world. So the very beginning was, I'm becoming envious of the position of the Supreme Lord. So envy should be avoided. As Kṛṣṇa says, envy, anger, and lust are three highways leading to hell. We should understand that if we have these anasas, we weaken ourselves. Yes.
Yeah. Guru Maharaj, sometimes if we start feeling that a little bit of envy is coming, starting to come, what should we do?
If you have the intelligence to recognize this is being motivated by envy, then you should try not to. When do we get envious? When we see, this person is getting so much honor that I'm not getting. And he has something which I don't have. And so that's when we become envious. And we should understand, envy is harmful. So you should try to give it up. And if you are associating with some senior devotee, take their help if you want. I'm very envious of this person. How do I overcome that?
Can we ask Kṛṣṇa to help us with the
Yeah, sure. You can ask Krishna to help us. But you can also ask. Next instruction, we'll do the discussion on 6 rasas among devotees. First rasa is you feel your mind is over more advanced and take instructions from him.
Prabhu had one. That was last.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj.
Yeah.
Guru Maharaj, how in the future, in the movement, we'll see that a lot of devotees will have different opinions about how certain things should be done, like especially the details. And there will be differences of opinion, even though everyone is right in their own way. How to resolve those differences of opinions, or how to cooperate in that?
If we follow Prabhupada's system, then there is no confusion. Because Prabhupada established the Governing Body Commission, GBC, is the ultimate managing authority. In ISKCON, there's no one person who calls the shots. And body meets regularly and directs based on Prabhupada's instructions. So even if they're 500 years down the road, those who are there, but those who have full faith in Prabhupada's instructions, and the books will always be there. So, as long as there's a body and you follow that body, they give the concept of GBC body, then we can have to work. But this leadership is fully committed to having the GBC run the society. There are many sampradayas out there, even today. Yeah.
Sorry, Guru Maharaj, if you're done with.
Yeah.
Sorry. Guru Maharaj, as you said, you give very nice examples also of envy and how to overcome that. Along with envy, Guru Maharaj, comes greed. So many times, as you said, spiritual envy is good. That there is spiritual competition. So when it becomes greed, there is spiritual greed. We want to do more and more devotional service.
Spiritual greed means you want to do more and more, but you're not doing any politics. We're working honestly. We are not trying to defame somebody, trying to get the upper hand. That's okay.
So Guru Maharaj, so many times we compete with each other. We want to do more devotional service. Then we feel later on that I should have shared this devotional service with somebody. We run into that situation. So next time we try to apply it and try to be more tolerant and share it. So is that okay, or?
Keep trying. We don't expect everyone to become a pure devotee overnight. We don't expect all that to go in one day. So you keep endeavoring, and Krishna sees, so endeavoring to develop all good qualities. Krishna also helps you. What was your question?
Yeah, Guru Maharaj, in our Bhakti Raksha, we were reading the Bhagavad Gita 219 sloka. In the purport Prabhupada writing, one of the devotee asked us, but we have no answer. Like the two words is there. One Krishna's purport Prabhupada saying that the soul cannot be killed by the material weapons. So he's asking, is there in spiritual weapon, or and second thing, like a spirit soul. So one of the devotee asking, what is the difference between soul and spirit soul, which I have no answer, Guru Maharaj.
Soul and spirit soul is the same thing. What was the first one?
Like the soul cannot be killed by any material weapon.
The soul is completely transcendental. You can't burn it, you can't fry it, you can't drown it. It's completely spiritual. You can't even understand what the material sense is.
So he was putting in that way, Guru Maharaj, like a material weapon, Prabhupada putting in a purport. So is there any spiritual weapon, or who can do something with the soul?
The soul lives, but the soul cannot be dried, killed, burned, drowned, water.
Okay. Maharaj, Guru Maharaj, why Lord appeared as four-handed Narayan form for Devaki and Vasudeva?
He wanted to convince them. Devaki's previous children were all killed. He wanted to convince mother and father. Now at last I'm here. And if you just appear as a young normal child, then the mother, when they saw the transcendental four-handed form, they were convinced you don't go there. They have some of this one. Yes, last question.
Thank you. Why not as a Shyam Sundar? And why did he appear as a Lord Vishnu?
Why did he appear as Lord Vishnu?
Four-handed.
Yeah. Why did he appear as Lord Vishnu? When he wanted to show his, not only was he four-handed, he was beautifully ornamented. He wanted to convince his parents, no, I don't appear. You don't mean anything. And as soon as the parents said, please tell me the door, they died. So please be serious about Krishna consciousness. It would be nice if I attend the Bhagavatam class regularly. And Śrīla Krishna book. Okay.
Thank you so much, Guru Maharaj, for
Hare Krishna.
giving us appreciation.
Yeah. What was it? What?
Guru Maharaj, can you take a question? I just wanted to ask you quickly, sometimes devotees face difficulties and sometimes and they'll make prayers, but sometimes the prayers are unanswered. So how do we understand why they're...
We should not think that every time we make a prayer, the Lord has to think it. We have our history of karma, and Bhagavad, like we say, man proposes, God disposes. You know that? So God disposes is actually Paramatma disposes. The Paramatma sees. The man has this desire. His karma doesn't give him that. So he gets rejected. So we should not think that I've come to Krishna consciousness. Everything I desire will become good. You should understand. We are history of karma also. And according to that, the suffering will be there. Krishna minimizes it. He doesn't make it a show. If Krishna made it, everyone's suffering zero, nobody would ever experience it anyway. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you.